and a very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name's Anna Langford. I'm the Head of Marketing at NBRAF, joining you for what will hopefully be another insightful innovation journey session, where we bring you conversations with innovators so that other founders can hopefully learn from their experiences. In the lead up to COP28, we're bringing you actually an exciting lineup of founders who are changing the world with their innovations, driving all things towards sustainability and net zero. The session today will run for about 45 minutes. We usually take about 30 minutes for the conversation, followed by Q&A of around 15 minutes. Please remember you can type your questions in the comments section throughout, and we'll do our best to pose as many of your questions as possible to our guest today. So moving quickly on to our guest for this episode, I'm delighted to introduce Guilhermo Quieroz, who's the founder and CEO of Biosolvit. Guilhermo also happens to be an NBRAF alumni. He has over 25 years of experience working tirelessly to further the cause of sustainability and the circular economy, currently through Biosolvit. So without further ado, let's get the conversation started and learn more about his journey. Welcome, Guilhermo.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure.
See you again. We know you well, of course, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. It's always wonderful to catch up with our alumni on their journeys, because after they leave us at NBRAF, we like to track your continued success. And it's great for our listeners and viewers to learn more about your journey. Guilhermo, as always, let's start at the beginning. We know about the wonderful work that you do, and how Biosolvit was started, I think in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, in Brazil. But for our kind of attendees today, perhaps we could start with your story on how you became an entrepreneur. What started your idea for Biosolvit, and take us, if you will, through your journey.
Yes, perfect. So Anna, thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's amazing for me. I started my career as a system analyst in an IT company here in Brazil. The name is TOTUS. Today is a $4 billion company. And I was an employee in this company. So a few years later, I became the partner of this company here, and started as an entrepreneur running this business here in my region. I am the former CEO of a business unit of TOTUS in Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so since I realized that I should have a side plan to my career, I started thinking about creating something different to create impact in the world. So I decided to produce heart of palm. In Brazil, we have a different industry that produces heart of palm. Heart of palm. It's an eatable product, very, very tasty. And my father was an employee in a heart of palm industry. So I bought this company, and I decided to run this business just to, how can I say, just to give value to my father's efforts. And I decided to run a heart of palm industry. So after analyzing this business, I realized that only 3% of a palm tree is used to produce the heart of palm. 3%.
Wow.
The rest of 97% used to be discarded in the crop. So I saw an opportunity to recover this biomass and create new products. So my decision was made thinking about using the entire plant, the entire palm tree to produce different products, using biotechnology as a vector, as the way to create these new products. Uh, this is the story and how we started doing this business here.
Amazing. Well, as the saying goes, pictures paint 1,000 words. So to help explain how Biosolvit actually works and is tackling real world problems, we'd like to play now a short video, which perhaps you could talk us through.
Yes, I will explain what we've been doing in some pictures. So here we have a quick demonstration about our product, okay? Uh, I'm putting petroleum, crude oil, in these two tanks in the same quantity. In the first tank, I will use polyurethane, a polymer, which is the market leader nowadays. And in the second tank on the right, I will use my product, the BioBlue Natural Absorber, which is made from these vegetable fibers from the palm tree. It's a biopolymer, okay? 1 kilogram of polyurethane on the left absorbs until 12 kilograms of oil in 30 minutes, okay? 1 kilogram of our product on the right is able to absorb until 34 kilograms of oil in only 15 minutes. It means that our product can be 3 times more efficient, almost 3 times more efficient the half of the time. Okay. See the difference between these two tanks, how the oil was spread on the surface in the first, and how the oil was completely absorbed by the product in the second tank. The most important, due to the fact that we use vegetable fibers, we can absorb the oil inside the product, not outside. And we can extract the oil from the product after absorbing. So it's the most important thing because we can recover almost in terms of we can recover 95% of the absorbed oil, almost every uh, almost the entire oil absorbed by the product. See the
Yeah,
difference between these two tanks after less than 2 minutes of exposition. Okay.
yeah. It's impressive, I have to say. So the application for that then, Guillermo, is primarily oil spills, accidents.
Yes, oil spill and accidents. Oil spills is the first application. We have a complete line to absorb oil in case of accident, and people are used to think
Mm,
that oil spills occur only on the water, on the ocean. It's not the truth. Actually, we have small spill accidents every single day in gas stations,
yeah.
industries, ports, airports. Here in Brazil, for example, we apply this product in some races, car races. For
Okay.
example, we apply in our stock car, the NASCAR of Brazil, and we're going to apply in the Formula One, in Grand Prix Formula One here in Brazil,
Oh,
uh,
amazing.
using in case of accident, for example.
So it's clear that Biosolvit is indeed, finding biotech solutions that really preserve the environment and life in the face of accidental spills. I mean, on a personal level, it must be quite rewarding for you to be a pioneer in, that transformation of how these things are dealt with, and that is literally making our planet a better place. How does that feel personally to go to work every day?
I feel absolutely proud and with a great responsibility. I think that we
Mm,
should take care of our planet because we will face enormous difficulties if we don't. I think that Biosolvit is a pioneer, taking care of our planet, and the most important, we've been finding ways to ally sustainability and economic viability. This is the most important thing because companies, industries are not able to buy or to adopt new technologies or sustainability that are more expensive. You know, we need to align sustainability and economic viability to make a better world, to build a better world, and being profitable, creating value. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So, of course, since founding Biosolvit, you've made quite the journey from Brazil to the UAE.
Yes.
Can I start by asking you why the UAE?
Uh, for me, it's natural. I never thought about Biosolvit locally. I started thinking Biosolvit as a global company. Okay, and for us, uh, of course, because of the petroleum, but not only for that, uh, we thought about UAE as a priority place to start. I think that doing business in UAE is important to achieve the MENA market and the Asia market. So especially to produce our products abroad, I think that the UAE is the best place. And you have a huge innovation ecosystem. I think you have the best conditions to startups uh, start growing. This is the most important. And there is another point. I think that you have investors, a collaboration ecosystem, and people thinking about the world changing. And this is it is amazing because in terms of startups, when we think about world changing, we are thinking about giving opportunities to these new companies. And UAE has been a great job supporting the startups. This is my case.
That's good to hear, because we're, of course, part of that ecosystem. So it's always nice to get that feedback. And
And
I'm
I have
sure,
another point, Anna. Can I?
yes, of course.
Especially to Brazilian people that are hearing me now. Brazil is a huge market. We are more than 220 million people. It's a huge country. So we have a huge market too. And Brazilian entrepreneurs are focused on doing business just here. And I think it is a mistake. I think we should start thinking about expand globally, especially to different countries that has similar cultures to Brazil. This is the case of UAE. I feel absolutely uh, in home when I am in Dubai, for example, because the culture is similar to Brazil. People are so uh, friendly, and people are so hot like Brazilians, and I feel absolutely comfortable when I am in UAE.
Well, hopefully you can spread the word in Brazil.
Yes.
And as with any journey, of course, it's never plain sailing. And no doubt you faced some challenges along the way. Um, could you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the most challenging kind of situations you've had and how you overcame them, specifically when it comes to validating your technology and then commercializing it?
Yes, of course. And we are sons of the pandemic, you know. So uh, it was a terrible moment. but we decided to use that moment to get prepared, to get ready to face the challenge we will face after the pandemic. And so we used this moment to present our technology to the companies. uh, the big companies have some difficulties. The big companies have some difficulties to adopt new technologies. They have technical specifications, and they need to connect the new solutions to these technical specifications. So we need time to do this, and due to the pandemic, we have no pressure to do this. We have time to introduce our product to that companies. And it was important for us because they had time to analyze, to test, to apply our technology on their sites. And after analyzing our product, they could adopt this technology to their processes. So the challenges are related to introduce the technology, and of course, as a startup, to access the resources that we need to start doing business. Money, people, hire people is quite difficult, and of course, the market access. It's quite important to mention.
Yeah. So in the course of setting up and expanding your business, I guess I'm interested to know, when did you kind of feel it was the right time to expand Biosolvit's operations to new regions? Because I think, expansion and even over expansion can sometimes be to the detriment of many young companies, and because it becomes difficult to manage. So can you tell us a little bit about how you kind of judged that moment?
Yes, it's important to mention it's quite difficult for us. We have a lot of pressure to grow uh, very, very fast. And sometimes uh, it becomes a great difficult for us to manage to run our business with this pressure. Okay, so I think that uh, how can I say, Anna? I think that to run a business, uh, we need to start planning what we want to do with this business in the time. This is the most important thing, and start planning is important to have a vision where we can start. I never thought Biosoft, as I mentioned, as a local company. As soon as we decided to be global, I started connecting to different places and different accelerators. And it is very, very important for us. I started connecting to Germany, United States, Portugal, for example, and UAE through the Mohammed bin Rashid Innovation Fund and BREF. So it was important to understand the market. It's quite important, and to learn how we can do business on that place. I think this is the most relevant thing about thinking globally. Okay.
Yeah. And when it comes to global trends then, and developments in this space, either within the UAE or globally, what that excite you? I mean, what developments do you see that are exciting coming down the pipe? And what kind of do you hope to see?
In terms of our company or in terms
Just
of
generally in terms of the
perfect.
global trends. Yeah.
Yes, I think that I will connect Biosoft plans to this question. Okay, we are thinking about wastewater treatment. This is the most. This is
Wastewater,
our
yeah.
new goal. Okay, this media, our natural absorber, is quite efficient to remove oil from the water, for example. So we've been creating filtration systems from this media and using these filtration systems into the industries is our new goal. So we think that applying these technologies as hardware as a service, for example, we will give to the industries the opportunity to treat this water, uh, to treat their water in a different way, avoiding chemical processes, for example, having a physical way to remove oil from the water, and of course we can do this for our residences, for example. We've been creating a system that we will install in our houses and treat the water before using the water. It's a kind of it's a hardware as a service too, okay? But a kind of system that people can ask for Alexa, for example. Alexa, how about my water today? And Alexa will tell him or tell us that water is how much water we have in our water tank, for example, what is the quality of this water, if we can drink this water from directly from the water tank, for example, and things like that. And I think that in the new concept to the smart cities is to have in our fingers the information that we need to keep healthy, to use better water, for example, and after all, to be healthy. This is the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, there are many innovators like yourself dedicated to kind of furthering the sustainability cause and working on these amazing solutions to solve real-world problems. However, what about the startups or the organizations whose sole purpose is not necessarily, sustainability focused, doesn't revolve around sustainability? How can they be part of this journey to sort of better the planet and make the world a nicer place to live?
I think that they should start thinking different. Okay, start thinking about aligning sustainability to their business, trying to find new ways to run their business, and especially when we are talking about using not natural resources in to build different solutions. Okay, uh, in our case, given our example, we started thinking about using a palm tree, an entire palm tree, to create new products. But of course, we can do this in different situations. For example, if we are developing a software, we can think about give to our consumers, to our to people that use our software, the right conditions to use this software in terms of experience, and the most important, to keep them connected to different ways to do their things. I will try to make it real. When I'm using, for example, a software that I have in my car, I think that we should see what kind of contribution we are giving to the world, avoiding the air contamination, for example, avoiding carbon emissions. Uh, So I think that the software that we develop should be focused on giving this kind of information to the people. It is only, it's just a single way to introduce sustainability in a different place in terms of software, for example. And
Yeah.
I think that we have a great challenge to build this new world, thinking different.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the customer in that example. So you're putting more control in their hands, more information in their hands.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, that's really interesting. And of course, entrepreneurship is never an easy path, and often, growth is kind of only possible through collaboration with partners, and guidance from mentorship. So how would you say finding the right partners, including, of course, accelerators like MBRAF, helped to kind of put you and others on the right path to growth?
Yes, when I analyze the Biosolvit's path or journey, I think that one of the best decisions that we made was related to attend these programs. Okay, attending these programs was amazing because we could connect to different mentors. We can learn how to adopt new cultures, and we could learn how to do business in different places. It was amazing. So especially in the case of MBREF, we had a different experience because MBREF have introduced us to new possibilities, connected to different companies and different ways to start doing business. And we won an award, a license to be in Mazda City. And it's been amazing because since we have an operation there, we can we can talk to people as a local company, and it is amazing for us. And all the support that we had in NBREF was amazing. All the support, even in the event like Jitex, for example, or or um or connecting to different companies. It was amazing, amazing. I think
Thank
that an entrepreneur that want to start doing business abroad should think seriously about having the support of accelerator. It is
mm,
quite important.
thank you. And I promise we didn't pay Guillermo to say that. Um,
Oh,
um,
it's true. It's quite important. The
yeah.
awards, the connections, etc. It's quite important.
Well, that's good to hear. Guillermo, we've got probably one last question before we move to Q&A. So looking back, with all the wisdom and experience that you have gained throughout your entrepreneurial journey, if you could go back to, any point in time, what would you do differently, if anything, with the benefit of hindsight?
And I don't have any regrets about our path. Okay, uh, not how can I say, not important to mention, but of course, if I could, I would fix some points, especially the points related to the rush. I think that entrepreneurs have a lot of pressure, receive a lot of pressure to grow fast and to expand their business for different places very fast. and I think that we should do this step by step, planning and thinking about uh, conquesting these spaces gradually. I think we don't need to rush. We don't need to put our business unmanageable, I think we should think about run our business uh, with calm, and most important, uh, step by step.
Yeah.
This is my main regret about Biosolvit's journey. I think we rush in different moments that we should be more, um, we should have calm to run our business.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like great advice for any young company, not to sort of take on the pressure from
Yes,
outside, but to do it on your own terms at your own pace.
it's enough the pressure that we put in ourselves.
Yeah,
So we don't need to allow the outside pressure. Uh,
exactly. Well, thank you for that, Guilhermo. I'm slightly conscious of time because I know that the audience will be eager to ask their questions. So let's move now to the Q&A. So this is from Mohammed. Can you explain the key challenges you've encountered during the research and development process? Any new technologies that you're exploring?
so the challenges we related to the IP, the intellectual
Mhm.
property. Uh, it's quite difficult because we need to have the patent all over the world, and it is so expensive. And we needed to test the product also, and we have chosen to test the product in an institute called CEDRI in France. I think it's the most prestigious institute for this kind of test in the world. And since we decided to start doing business abroad and be a global company, we needed to test the product in an institute uh, that have the right way to test our product. And the CEDRI was the the institute that we have chosen. So the last challenge is to convince the companies to adopt this new technology. It's quite difficult because they need time, and so we need to be prepared to give them this time to test and adopt this new technology. So, regarding to new technologies, as I said, we're going to apply this media in filtration systems to the industry and residences. Um, we've been thinking about give to the people the opportunity to have uh, their residences better way to consume water and to have water with the quality that they deserve. And to the industry, we're going to apply this media in filtration systems to treat wastewater and to discard water in the right way.
Great. So this is a question from Sarah. What is your vision for the long-term impact of your company on the environment and industry especially in lieu of the current climate crisis?
Yes, a good question. Our technology is the only one that allows the reuse of the spilled oil. Okay, so it's quite important because we can recover 95% of the absorbed oil. When we discard an absorber after using, we need to incinerate this absorber. This is the way that world lead with this problem. We incinerate. So in this case, we are just changing the place where we having a problem. We remove the oil from the sea or land and put to atmosphere. It's a problem. It's a heterocontamination. So avoid incinerating the product
Yeah.
and recovering the oil, we can uh, we can avoid the carbon emissions, and we can contribute to a better world in this way. Okay.
Great. This is a question from Mira. Have there been any unexpected rewards or benefits that you've experienced on your sustainability-focused entrepreneurial journey?
Yes, especially for me as a system analyst. I made my career in an IT company. I never imagined that this journey could be so amazing. uh, I have experienced uh, in different moments that our products um do things, amazing things, real amazing things. I will give you one example. Okay, it's a new about some news about our company. Okay, we've been starting producing a different product, dust control. Okay, a dust control, a polymer made from discarded PET. PET is bottles of water, for example. And we've been producing a dust control from these PETs. It will impact more than 500 people that recover this pet in some cities in Brazil. Okay,
Mm.
will help these people uh, to 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 make money doing this, and it's a kind of social impact that we unexpected before doing what we've been doing here. Okay, and it is amazing because. After all, this is the reason because we have started Biosolvit to make the difference to the people and to make a better world. This is the most important for us.
Well, that's amazing. There's a question here from Natalie. Are there potential applications of your materials or products beyond preservation efforts?
Yes, there are a lot of applications to this product specifically, the natural absorber, but we have also other products that have different applications to preserve the world. Actually, all over the products that we produce in Biosolvit are destined to preserve the flora and the water. I will give another example. We have BioGreen line here where we produce vegetable pots, natural pots for raising plants. It's quite different because we started recovering the biomass, processing this biomass, and create these natural pots. After producing these natural pots, it remains a pounder, and the pounder that this pounder is that we use to produce the natural absorber. So before producing the natural absorber that I mentioned, that I showed for you, we produce these natural pots and substrates. And it is important because people can use these natural pots for raising their plants uh, in their houses in a different way to leave nature to inside their houses. It's a kind of beautiful impact to the life. Okay.
Fantastic. Here's a question about measurement, which is an interesting one. How do you measure and communicate the positive environmental impact of your products and processes to your customers and stakeholders?
Yes, well, we have some reports, impact reports that we share with our stakeholders, board members, and clients and suppliers, and of course, we have some actions in media. We attend some events, and of course, we have the opportunity to talk about consulting events like that, where we can connect to different people in different parts of the world, talking about how Biosolvit has been facing its challenges to be a global company.
Yeah. Guilhermo, I'm conscious of time, but there's actually one question I would like to ask, if I may, and it's about funding for companies like Biosolvit. You know, obviously we're in the UAE, so we can make it sort of quite Middle East UAE focused, if that works for you. But how have you found conversations with investors in this part of the world? Is it easy to sell your ideas?
Yes, I would love to have some investors here hearing us on that moment, because for Biosolvit it's quite difficult to raise money because we are an industry, and investors are committed to are trying to invest only in IT companies that have different ways to grow. But I think that when we have a business such as Biosolvit, we have, and when we run this business in the right way, we align uh, the growth of an IT company with the protection, a kind of protection of an industry in terms of intellectual property, for example. Okay, so it was quite difficult to find an investor here in Brazil, but after 2 years trying to find this investor, we found a family office here focused on sustainability. And it was amazing because the man who's running this VC fund here is a great guy. So he has been helping us to understand better how we can do business not only in Brazil and South America, but also all over the world. It's been amazing for us.
Yeah, and I'm sure lots of other companies in your space have had similar experiences. Yeah, we feel your pain.
Yes.
I think, unfortunately, that's probably all we have time for today. So I would like to thank you again, Guilhermo, for your valuable time and your generous insights today. And thank you also to everyone in the audience for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Innovator Journeys, and please do look out for the announcement for our next Innovation Journeys event coming very soon. Until next time, goodbye, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Bye-bye.
I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.